Okay, you guys, I am so excited to have these three here today. You saw them on season 1 of World of Dance. Please welcome the Mihacevich sisters. We've got Lainey, Madeline, and Chloe. How are you guys?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I'm good. We were just talking very briefly about quarantine and what this means, and it's been so crazy. Obviously, your exercise room downstairs, you were saying, is now a dance studio.
Oh yeah, we had a bunch of workout equipment down there, but we moved it all out in April, end of March, and it's been strictly the dance studio now. So
now, have you guys been able to, obviously you've been able to take class, have you been able to teach, have you been able to choreograph? Like, what's happening there?
Yeah, so I've been teaching pretty much since the beginning of quarantine, since March. Just for a couple studios, I've been teaching for Team Millie TV on their Instagram page, Instagram live classes, which has been super fun. And then I recently just joined the Titans VIP All Access online program, which I'm really excited about. I haven't taught for them yet, but the program just started this week, so I'll be teaching for them regularly, which is pretty exciting. But they've also been teaching as well. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it.
Yeah, we just kind of recently started teaching back in studios again, which is so nice. Like, we miss that energy and the dancers. We taught at a studio called Elevated, and they have a hip hop company, and we just recently taught at it was a cheer facility, but they do dance as well. And so we've never really had that kind of group of dancers, but we taught there last night. So we've been trying to get out there as much as possible and teach pretty much anywhere we can right now.
Is it socially distant? Is it masks on? It's so every state is different. So
it's so crazy. Yeah. So we're in Ohio right now. And it's definitely not as strict as California, but you have to wear a mask and you have to get your temperature taken pretty much at every studio we've been at so far.
I think some studios wear masks all throughout class, but
it's just a preference.
I think it's whatever that studio wants to do.
That makes sense. And that's fair because, everyone's going to be comfortable with different things. And right. I think Ohio just started the mask mandate tomorrow or something. I just
yeah, it's tonight or tomorrow.
It's been like different counties. So some counties require them, other ones don't. But yeah, now tomorrow, everywhere you have to wear one.
Let's just get rid of this. Let's get back.
I
know. We want to get back in the studio all the time now.
I know. Well, kind of interested, especially, I think you guys have all been affected in different ways, of course. Chloe, you and I have been talking quite a bit because I know you were trying for So You Think You Can Dance.
Yes.
You finished your senior year. My heart hurts for these seniors because I just know it's a big deal, like graduation and prom and all that exciting stuff. But were you in the mix when they were asking people to sort of work with the choreographers and send in the videos?
Yeah, so I did pretty well. I think right up until basically where Nigel sent us all the letter that was like, sorry, we can't continue on anymore. But I filmed a lot of stuff. I did just some B-roll filming and some interview stuff. They did some interviews. My parents did some interviews. I asked some of my dance teachers to talk for me. So, yeah, that was quite the bummer. I think throughout all of quarantine, that was really the thing that kept me motivated and kept me going. So when I received the letter, I was obviously really devastated, and especially because that was a guaranteed factor of getting me out in LA as soon as possible. So I'm still planning to move there, hopefully, if stuff starts to open up yet.
Don't come right this second, just when everything starts clearing up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was really sad, especially because all three of us have grown up watching that show since we were little, and it's been a dream of all of ours. And Madeline auditioned, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I saw her at an audition. I feel like it was like season 15 maybe.
I think it was 15, yeah.
Yeah, so that's been a dream of ours for so long, and I was excited all three of us obviously always do stuff together, but I was excited to have a change of pace and have this experience on my own. So I'm hoping that they bring it back, but honestly, I don't know.
It's
I don't know either, and it's my favorite show to cover. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm hoping that we see another season out of it. Madeline, I know you were in Utah. You moved to LA to Utah because you got High School Musical, the series, didn't you?
Yes. So
How long did you last in Utah before production shut down?
27 hours. And I say the hours because it was seriously one sleep there. And then I drove back. So that was interesting. I was so excited. And I actually had company in town. And I was like, listen, I guess we're road tripping to Utah. So like I brought, it was my boyfriend actually. I brought him with me and moved there. And then 27 hours later, they said, sorry, we're shutting down. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So I'm back in Ohio with these two.
Did you leave LA shortly after that? Like went back to LA, packed up stuff, and then went home to Ohio?
Pretty much, yeah. I went back for maybe 2 or 3 nights. I don't even remember at this point. It seems like years ago. But it was a very short trip back to LA. I flew back here with my roommate because she's also from Ohio. So.
Have you heard anything about High School Musical going back to production yet, or does it look like 2021?
I heard through the grapevine, this was like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago even, that they were hoping to start late August, early September.
Oh, good.
So much has changed since then. So I mean, most likely it's going to be 2021 is my guess. But
It's hard to say because Utah has fared better than California, and you shoot in Utah. And then today I read something that they're moving forward with a whole bunch of productions. It was in today's Hollywood Reporter. They didn't specify which productions, but it looks like Hollywood's really going to try and get back to at least a few shows taping in the fall. So I hope yours is one of them.
That's awesome. That's good. That's good news.
I know. All right, Lainey, what happened with you? Because obviously you're watching your sisters go through a lot of, roller coaster emotions with all of this. How were you affected?
I was mainly affected in school. I had to do online school, which I was not a fan of. I like going to school. It was really hard for me to learn online because I'm not good at teaching, not as good at teaching myself things and it's a lot harder for me to retain it when I'm not in the classroom. So that was the biggest thing that affected me, and my competition season was also really affected, which sucked for Chloe and I too because we didn't get to compete together like the last time. And so that was kind of hard because now I have no one but I am still doing a trio next year, but it won't be the same because it won't be with them. So,
I was thinking, I'm like, are you going solo or are you?
Yeah, I found 2 girls at my studio, so I'm still going to do a trio, but it's not the same.
And you're competing with them full time, which will be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if they have a competition season, that's the hope right now.
Is your school going back like hybrid or in person or online? Do you know yet?
They just released information the other day, but they said that there's options right now. So if you want to choose to go online, you can, and some people can choose to go to school. So I hopefully will be getting back in person to school.
You're like, I'm going. Mask on, I'm going.
Doesn't want to be stuck here with Chloe and I sitting here.
Like that's enough. Well, they can dance all the time, and you're like, I gotta go to school, I got a class. Not as much fun. Well, I would love to know. I mean, going back, and it's been fun, like seeing season 4 of World of Dance. I know you guys have been posting a few photos. Do you have a lot of memories, like watching this crop of contestants and thinking that was us a few years ago?
It's so crazy. It feels like a lifetime ago, honestly.
It does.
We were actually talking when we were watching the duels last night about our duels routine. It was such a crazy week. But yeah, it definitely brings back memories watching it. And I mean, we've watched the last, 3 seasons, and now the 4th season, but it's so funny. Like we still, every time we watch a new round, we're like, oh, remember when this happened, when we competed on this round and we talked to these people? And it's fun. It's fun to reminisce and remember because it was such an exciting time in our lives.
I feel like also, so much has changed from season 1 until now. Just like we were on set pretty much all the time, every day. And I heard season 2 is different, and they like had to go back home and come back on set, and just the amount of things that are different now. They're not even on the stage for the first 2 rounds. They're in a room, and it's cool but interesting to see how many different things have changed since we were on it.
Yeah, it's true. The warehouse this season completely changes everything for the first 2 rounds. I was talking to little Savannah Mansell last night, and she's so cute, but she's like, I've been in the warehouse and now I'm going on big stage for the next round, and nobody's seen that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it would definitely change things. It definitely would have changed things too, I'm sure, for how out in our competition, like especially the way they're voting now, like that could have totally altered whether or not we got through specific rounds. Like it's crazy. It's definitely changing the competition, but it's interesting. It's making it super interesting and different to watch.
and also on our season we didn't have redemption rounds either, so that adds a huge element to every single round, because those acts fight, and sometimes they're even better than the routine that they did. So I think that's honestly one of my favorite rounds of the whole entire week or whatever, is just watching the two last groups compete for the last spot.
Yeah, because you're fighting to stay on the show. So I think you're going to go not just 100%, you're going like 150%. The other thing I like is the judges picking the matchups for the duels, because people aren't going, well, I'm contemporary, so I'm just going to pick someone like tap or whatever. They're going head to head. It's a lot of times it's like trios versus trios. And the tough thing is that you're losing really good people in earlier rounds than maybe you would have before too.
Yeah, that's way different, being able for the judges to be choosing, because like when we were on the show, our duel chose us. The person we dueled D'Angelo and Amanda, and they chose us. So it was them picking us, which is, it's different. Like it added a fuel under our butts to be like, okay, they chose us, let's prove them wrong. But now, like, and at least we got to prepare and we knew what we were going up against. But now these competitors, they are preparing routines and they don't even know like who they're competing against. It's crazy. It adds a whole extra level of stress, for sure.
It does. I can't imagine like walking out and then because the Savannah thing's on my brain, like she walks out and there's 305. Speaking about the Castros, there's so many Castros like kids. I was like, holy cow. But, and that's the thing. You don't know how that's going to turn out. You could have easily been like 305 is going to win this hands down. A 9-year-old's not going to beat them, but you never know.
It's amazing. So
those turns with that mic pack, though, she killed them.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that. You guys know exactly what that's like. If a mic pack fell around your ankle, how hard is it to stay on balance in that pirouette?
Oh my gosh,
So
I
hard.
hate turning with like big skirts on. That used to be the worst thing ever. Like when our teachers would choose costumes with big heavy skirts and I'd have to do turns. I can't imagine the stress of having a mic around my ankle. That would be awful.
Or even just on me in general. I feel like having a mic on me just anywhere, I'd stress about it the entire time, like it falling off or something like that to happen. I feel like I'd get too nervous the whole time and not be able to think about what my dance was what was happening in my dance.
Well, and she had a lot of acro in her piece too. That was the other thing. That's probably where it became loose. And then she started turning and it's like,
See ya.
See you later. I'd love to know from you guys, like, who are the choreographers that you have? Madeline, I know you've worked with a lot of people already being out here in LA, but who have you guys not worked with yet that you would love to? Who's on your dream list?
Oh man, that's a good question. Because I gotta think about it. What would you say?
I don't know. There's choreographers that I've worked with that I love.
Who do you love? And like working with them again would be a treat.
Cassandra.
Well, those are also the world of dance choreographers too. But they're so.
And she was, I don't know if a lot of people know, but she was a supervising choreographer behind the scenes that first season.
Yeah. Cassandra is one of our favorite choreographers. I think something that would be really cool for the three of us would to be for Shannon to set a trio on the three of us. I think that would be so cool. Yeah, because we love Shannon and we've been taking her classes for years, but for her to be able to set a trio on us, because her trio work is just unbelievable. Like we saw it with MDC3, like her choreography and the way she moves them, and it would be really cool. Yeah, it'd be really cool, I think, for the three of us to be able to do her choreography as a trio.
That's a really good one too. I mean, I could totally see that happening, and I'm glad that Shannon's work is getting an even bigger platform this season too with
Yeah, it deserves it.
Oh, I know. And what they did last night. And I love that Derek was like, it's a continuation of the story. She had told me, she goes, I'm doing something that no one else has done on World of Dance. And then I saw the episode a couple of weeks ago because I get the screener copies. And I was like, why has no one done this? Like, it seems like so obvious of a story, of a storyline and continuing that, but no one's done it.
I know, it's so smart.
So now I'm expecting the semifinals to have more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm hoping that'd be really cool.
I know.
You can't end it now.
You can't. I know. Now, to me, it feels like it forces the judges to send her all the way through to the finals.
Right.
How it ends, yeah.
You have to do that for us. Madeline, what is it like working with Derek Hough? I think for a lot of people, you know, it's a dream to work with him. He's out there. He's constantly rethinking his career, and you've had that opportunity.
He's brilliant. He is so brilliant. I've worked with him a couple of times on some more like behind the scenes skeleton things. I danced with him at a benefit event for sex trafficking. He's brilliant, and he's also the most down-to-earth human being I've ever met in my entire life. Like, when I danced with him at the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting, there were 6 of us dancers, and we were just like hanging out in our dressing room, and he would just come in and hang out with us and like watch the dress rehearsal run on the TV and just sit and talk with us. And I feel like that's such a cool thing to do as an artist. And you can tell, like, I've worked with him a couple of times, but that was definitely the coolest experience. But to be one of his dancers on tour with him has to be such a cool experience, just because he's friends with all of his dancers, which is so cool. But he also is just so brilliant. And I think a lot of artists give input into their performances, but he's always like, well, how about we do this? How about we do this? What if we did this instead of this? And like, just is constantly putting forth his own opinions, which I think is really cool too. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's got a voice too. I think that's really important in the dance world, but he's always welcome with collaboration. It's why, like, you'll always see Nappy Tabs, you'll always see Tassandra around, brings his sister along. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And his TikToks are awesome too. I love watching TikToks of his. They always make me laugh.
And he's like Haley. I'm like, they're literally like in the backyard in their pool, like making these amazing TikToks that I'm just looking at my cat, like, do something, you know?
His Disney special.
Was it so good?
I mean, both of them, the Beauty and the Beast and the Mary Poppins one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a prediction. I've been saying it for a while, but Emmy nominations come out on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
He and Haley and Julianne, I think, are going to be on that list.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I know that they submitted, but I can't, because also here we are on Zoom, you know, we're not in a studio anymore. And to think that what they created at home and he edited it himself, he and Haley, instead of like sending it off to ABC to do, pretty genius.
So crazy.
Yeah,
creative. Very creative. Our mom was asking us to like get creative like that. We were like, Mom. She was like, well, did you see what Derek was doing? Like, he figured out how to do all that editing. I feel like you guys could do something like that. I was like, Mom.
Have you done a couple of like trios though and done a little choreography?
That's what we're working on that right now. They actually choreographed a new duet for nationals, which they didn't get to compete. So we're hoping coming up in the next couple of weeks to start filming some of our old dances into concept videos, which is something that I've danced in. We've all danced in before, like concept videos, but I've never actually gotten to direct the videography and everything like that. But we are hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks, film some of our trios and duets.
You've now said it on camera. You have to make it happen.
Now we have to. I know. Well,
now I'm going to be looking for it. I'm going to be like, when's it coming out? When can I like put it in my little story?
Yeah, you and our mom. Those are the 2 reasons we're going to be doing it.
People like, it's actually been fun when people have been doing stuff in quarantine or, you know, this crazy time. Cause I'm like, people are getting creative and thinking outside the box. And I'm always like, oh, I'm going to put that in my story. Oh, and I like tagging everyone. Cause I'm like, these are cool things that like, this hasn't been a great moment in time, but it's a moment in time that we'll always remember. And the art that comes out of it we'll always remember. So make those concept videos. Do it, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, quarantine's definitely forcing people to get more creative and find different creative outlets, which is cool, and it's something we're hoping to continue to play with.
I feel
and
like
adjust to.
I feel like now more than ever, I'm watching YouTube. I feel like before I'd watch whatever's on TV, what's his new movie or whatever, but now I'm always on Instagram, I'm always on YouTube, I'm always looking for new videos that people are putting out, and I feel like people are dying for new content right now because there's nothing new to watch on TV. So I love watching people get creative in their new videos and stuff.
Is anyone inspiring you? Like anyone that you've watched and you're like, that's amazing?
Derek?
Derek. I know we're all like, Derek.
I don't know. I feel like
I know. I just watched one. I'll throw one out here because I just watched it and I put it and I watched it late last night. Aiden Carberry, he's done World of Dance. I'm trying to think. He did a really cool video with, because I know I'll put it in here, Jay Chillin. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's really good. And they go all throughout LA, but like the way they do it, you'll have to see it. I'm going to send it to you guys.
I also love like when people, I don't know if you've seen some of them, but people will film dances on YouTube or on Zoom and like collaboratively make shapes and stuff. We had a company meeting with Hollywood Vibe. We're part of their company there, but they were showing us all of the videos of the group, and just all the creativity is insane. Like stuff I would never think of to do, but it was really cool.
You play with all the grids. It's just, if you have like, 8 people,
Exactly.
you have 8 grids then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of creativity happening too, just with class videos even. Like people, I know a couple of my friends that I've seen on Instagram have just been taking online classes like everyone else, but then they've been filming them in like their garages or like outdoors and like just the location, and they're putting more effort into the videography. It's definitely allowing for some new creative outlets and some new new pathways for content to be published. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like, TikTok, everyone like jumped on that, but I think who knows what's happening with TikTok, because they're like, it might get banned and because of politics and everything else, but really utilizing like Zoom and Instagram and YouTube, I think definitely can inspire. And if you get to direct, Madeline.
I know. Well, that's something I want to get into too. So I told them, I was like, we're going to film your duet first so that I can kind of show my mom. Well, she's not going to record it, but we'd hire a videographer. But I was like, I need to figure out, like, kind of teach her how to teach the videographer, like what angles we'd want, how to move with the music and everything like that. But I'm excited. I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to get behind the camera a little bit more than just in front of the camera.
Are you guys ready for her to direct you?
I have been for years.
Because you're the oldest. And we get to be the bossiest.
Yeah, she has.
That wouldn't be anything new. I always sit in the front of the room and I'm like, no, do this instead.
Lainey and I will be goofing off in rehearsal, and Madeline will be like, you guys need to stop. Like, we need to work or something. And Lainey and I will just be laughing.
We just like look at each
minutes.
other and just like continue laughing.
I've been bringing Chloe with me now to choreograph for all of my pieces pretty much. Like, because they used to both assist me occasionally, but I've been dragging Chloe with me all the time. And then the one day Lainey was like, I want to come. So they were both helping me with this duet, and I was like, I hate having you both here because you get distracted and then you distract me. I was like, it's better when it's just one of you.
Because then you guys can team up.
They just become buddy and they'll be laughing in the room, and I'm like,
you're like, wait a minute. Well, you guys, it was such a treat to have you guys and catch up and see all you guys together, because the last time I saw the 3 of you together was that World of Dance That
Oh, yeah.
first season, you guys were out at Universal Studios. That was what, 2017?
Yes.
Forever ago. Yes.
Crazy. I know quarantine has been nice in the sense that we've gotten to spend a lot of bonding time together.
Sisterly love.
Your love.
I know. All right, if people aren't following you, where can they find you on social media?
We have our YouTube channel. It's just the Mihacevich Sisters. Our Instagram is Mihacevich Sisters. What's our Facebook? The Mihacevich Sisters, I think, as well.
Our Twitter's Mihacevich 3, I think.
I think so too.
I don't know why that one's so different. But that's with the spelling too.
I know, good old social media. It's always a little different on each one. All right, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.